that I can go live. I really didn't know. So I just said, let me hit the live button because I am rebuilding my social media platform, and I do not have 1,000 followers on majority of my platforms, and so that's why I didn't try it. But I'm actually glad that I can go live now. I can do certain things and share certain things, and any questions that anyone may have. I'm definitely excited to actually share. And man, so this is the place where I train at, and I'm located in New York. So I'm actually going to take some toys out today and play with them. Wow, this is really cool. This is actually cool. So the first thing I'm going to take out is the my nail beds, which are these here. So I'm going to need to place this somewhere so that I can, let me see, so you can get a clearer picture. All right, that should be good. So I'm going to stand on these nail beds and work my chi just for a little while. Okay. All right, so here we go. So I'm in now. And I do this because it allows me to stimulate it's stimulating the nervous system, reflexology. You guys are very probably familiar with that. Reflexology deals with the organ points on the foot that relates to different parts of the body in the upper extremities, distal from the feet. And yeah, so I'm gonna do some breathing right now. This is my first warm up for the day. I had my coffee. I'm fasting today, so I'll just do some breathing. Very very basic. One, two, three, four, five. So I'm noticing I'm more dominant on standing on certain areas. Six. I'm really more so sincerely of, you know, just like I'm just glad I can go live. Honestly, first time going live on YouTube ever in my living existence. Testing out range of motion. Oops. See if there's any tightnesses, restrictions in certain muscles first. This is actually good. Well, thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I must say that as a fact. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Sincerely, thank you. All right. So I'm just going to stand on these nails for a good while. This is what I normally do. Find myself to be very disciplined, very more so intrigued with the human body and how it works. And I'm sure that we all at one point wanted to be the Shaolin master, Asian master that we watched in the movies, the Kung Fu back then, same C time frame. The Shaolin masters with the long beard that just seemed like they just never aged at all. Splits, wearing black belts, gis, thick gis, learning different ways of what you can do to your body as far as when it comes to fighting, combat sports, different styles, ground, capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sanukas rule, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, Mantis, Chun Na, weapons, knives, guns, staffs, swords, you know. I'm sure we all want to master something. And I sincerely believe that we all can. It's those who put the most time in to something will benefit greatly from it as an individual. And that is one of the definite keys to becoming successful in anything that you like to do. So I may not do the actual karate movements all day, but I'm doing things that complement the body, such as like you see me standing on these nail beds here, stimulating the nervous system in my feet to calm down and relax, and I'm more aware of my posture. And then you've been watching my page, so I do cupping, which which brings more blood and oxygen to the surface. And the body can be much more aware of where the stagnant blood flow is and optimize the blood flow and remove that and bring in fresh blood, fresh oxygen, and fresh nutrients to the area. So over time, and then other things like walking, other things like bodybuilding, other things like dancing. I dance a lot, roller skating, riding my BMX bike. What else? Riding my BMX bike and skateboarding. So those things there, I definitely find myself to stay in shape. That's how I stay in shape. So I don't have a normal 9 to 5 job. I don't. I've been working for myself. I'm 39 now, so I've been working for myself completely since I was 18. I only had 2 jobs, but they never lasted for even more than 8 months. Fasting since I was the age of 27. So every month I would do a minimum of 72 hours of just coffee and water intake for 72 hours minimum. I am now at the time now where I'm striving to push past that and getting rid of or just lowering the effects of what the sugar has done to my body from eating it since I was little. So not knowing that sugar is definitely one of the main issues and keys as to why the health of the population is where it's at today. And that's why I like promoting and doing what I'm doing. And you're going to hear a lot of talk from me right now because I've never gone live. But this is amazing. Because on most of my platforms, I can't go live. But to move forward with the health and fitness industry, it's a war going on. And I sincerely believe that. And I like war. I like war because in war, you have to fight regardless of your position, even if you're what is it called, first aid or medical in the service. If they need you to shoot and take somebody out, you have to go shoot and take somebody out and then go back to helping people afterwards. So regardless of what we do in life, whatever talent or skill that we pick up, I believe that fighting is definitely something that we all should be taking part of. But although it's not for everybody, but I definitely do believe that fighting keeps us sharp, fighting keeps us, on point. Fighting allows us to see where our weaknesses are, and fighting allows us to build up those weaknesses to fight to become better. And also your circle as well. If your circle of people are fighters, then you're definitely going to want to stay sharp in what it is that you do. And fighting also clears the mind as well. And we're talking about legal fighting. And if you do have to get into a situation out in the street, as in Yip Man said in the movies, run, run fast. And then I was telling the story yesterday how I ran a lot in general. And I was here to tell the story and laugh about it. It was like, you ran? I'm like, yo, I run. And you live to tell the story later on and laugh about it. Hopefully those people got what they wanted in a way and deserve what they got afterwards too. Yeah, I definitely just said that. So moving forward, let's see. So today is Thursday, and anytime that I train, calisthenics, definitely a very, very, very high rep range. I'm always striving to do 25 reps or more, and that allows me to see where I am. Jumping rope, kicks, stretches, definitely core, abs, definitely legs, calves, definitely very well developed. And anything much more to add on is focusing on my organs more so, because the organs are definitely responsible for building the muscle and the transformation in which you wish your body to see, such as the spleen. Now let's talk about chi, because my page is the colliding chi, when chi collides. So that is basically who you are when everything is colliding around you, and you just may be centered and you collide with something as well. And how is your chi in that moment? How is your mind? How is your spirit? How is your energy? How is your physiology? How is your posture? How is your communication, your verbal skills, your listening skills, your optical viewing, seeing eye skills, touch, feel, taste? How is it? Is it aware? Is it centered? Is it where it's supposed to be? Those different health things like that, because we speak about chakras a lot. And when I come across the topic of chakras, I remind myself that the chakras is the endocrine system to the body, which is the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, the thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, the adrenal glands, the pancreas, the testes, and the ovaries. So those different things that I just named are responsible for pushing out the hormones or delivering hormones throughout the system. And the pituitary gland is the master gland of all of those systems. So if your pituitary gland has been compromised, then that is why your body is out of balance. The pituitary gland is the one that's responsible for turning an endocrine system on and off and sending messengers there through blood, through different things like that, and also the nervous system, which can get to the organs within milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours, as opposed to the hormones. The hormones travel there just a little bit slower. So, and that's why it's important to fast over time and to train a specific way to keep the organ meridian channels in your body open, because as in Islam, we would say in the past, arm, leg, arm, head, although it would never go past that. So now studying shiatsu allowed me to understand that the organs have a specific point on the body, which is called trigger points, pressure point, or as you will learn in martial arts, or Denmark. Denmark is a book that I've come across where somebody has built up and preserved enough energy and hit you with a strike. And if you don't tend to that body part that you've been hit with after that strike, that organ will actually have been compromised over some, will be compromised over some time. So yeah, so meridians, different things like that, arm, leg, arm, head, understanding how the body works through energy, through Eastern and Western, and why massage and recovery is rather important, or more important, just recovering from a very hard working day, recovering from a very hard working session, recovering from a very good intercourse session, recovering from a very good meal that you just had. So the body is doing things that we are telling it not to do. So we can't just tell the body, go digest, go do this, go do that, etc. What happens is the body is designed to do it anyway. It's allowing it to be in the state, in the proper state to be in, so that it works optimal and it's more beneficial for you. And that's why I love martial arts and cupping and recovery and stretching and all this meditation and stuff like that. Because at this time and age and where I'm at right now, I'm much more grateful to be healthy and bored and try to figure out something to do, which is more on a creative side, rather than falling victim to being unhealthy and being told what to do. So again, thank you for being on this channel and following me. Any questions you may have, if you just enjoy watching, if you enjoy me focusing and showing my abs and muscles and flexing different things like that, then please, I'm delighted. I'm definitely delighted. So just to share some more things that's coming to mind, I have a old fracture here, a vulging fracture here on my right hip from when I was 13 years old, and 14 years old, 13 going on 14 years old. I have a torn bicep head. I have a fractured jaw. I have a second-degree pec minor in the right side that's been second-degree tear, which these things that I had to overcome over the course of my training and life that's been coming up to this very moment. And now I'm still able to perform at an optimal level, which is safe, but I definitely have to warm up and do certain things to my body to put it in that state so that I can work out. And I'm sure some of you have probably have the same similar, not similar or same injuries, but although something similar as far as with your body and what you have to overcome in order to actually be able to perform optimally in what it is that you want to do. In regards to training or probably just some daily movements that you have to do around your house that's been inhibited through the injuries or past traumatic issues or situations that has happened to your body. So recovery, it's definitely a great thing because it allows me to be much more intent on what I do and how I do it, and when I do it and where I do it, and why I'm doing it. So if I feel that, there are certain days, which is perfectly normal, where I feel like I haven't pushed myself hard enough, I remember that I actually did the workout, did something, I'm going to get some results, and I'm much more safer to move on. So I know what my body can handle. Same thing for you. Do what your body can handle, allow for it to recover, and then do some more the next time. So now that you know your limitations. And it probably seems like I'm rambling, but again, I'm definitely excited that I can be live at this very moment. Being live is one of the things that I definitely want to do. I like being on, Cinefold TV, whatever the case is. Oh yes, and also being in America after the age of 35. It is said that it is documented that the men start to decline after the age of 35. And there are certain things like high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate issues, cancer, losing vision, what you call it, upper respiratory diseases, rheumatoid, autoimmune diseases, osteoporosis, different things like that, erectile dysfunction, heart attacks and strokes that tend to settle in and settle on. Well, this is the area where if you take on this discipline, you can actually dodge those things. And it is first dealing with certain things such as your mindset and sleep and getting things in order and balanced inside your body before you even take on doing something. Because you can cause destruction on top of destruction on top of destruction that you don't even know that you did to your own body. So as we move forward with this channel, you will see that over time that exercise is definitely important, but it more so comes down to your kitchen. Your kitchen is where the lab, it is where the chemical solution, the chemical reactions happen, and you get the solution. So if you eat a lot, you're going to be overweight. If you eat little, you'll probably be underweight and not enough muscle and or not enough cellular performance. So the kitchen allows you to read the ingredients, the grams, the carbs, the proteins, the sodium, the potassium, and all the different vitamins, nutrients that's in a particular food. And then you can actually do the math. Because then why else stand on a scale and check your weight? So obviously the numbers that's in the food should and do matter, which is why bodybuilders count all of their different things that they do when it comes to food, grams, proteins, carbs, fats, etc. Because that's what builds the muscle. That's what brings on optimal cellular performance for what they are trying to achieve. And also hormones as well too, steroids. Steroids are not a bad thing. It's just that if you're going to do steroids, allow it to be a sport where everybody is actually legal to do it and make it known. So that's another topic for another day, but I might talk about that later on, depending on where this conversation is going and how my mind is flowing at this very moment. But also too, so as a fighter, the kitchen is probably whipping your ass. So make sure that you are not eating the things that you are not supposed to be eating, and look at your stomach and see if your belt buckles is actually going down or going up or staying stagnant. This is the real deal. So this is what's happening. So in America, after the age of 35, men start to decline. How do you go about doing it, and how do you defeat that? We all know what fasting does, and we all know the benefits. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches in the book of How to Eat to Live that fasting cures 70 to 99 something percent of diseases or gets rid of the poisons inside the body. So viruses don't have anything to feed on. Viruses like to feed on cells that are dead. Viruses like to feed on healthy cells, but healthy cells are always fighting. So viruses like to feed on cells that don't actually need to be there. So this is why fasting is so important, because any disease or virus that gets into the body, it can be removed and taken away by the body if the body is placed in the correct state with the correct nutrients inside the system. And this is where stem cells actually come out from the bone marrow and actually come out and actually merge themselves with the proper and good nutrients, so that anything that doesn't belong there or seems abnormal or is abnormal or even on a microscopic level, those stem cells mixed with the good nutrients go and fight and eradicate that. And also there are stem cells that actually come out and help to rebuild certain other tissues within the body as well. So that's why the body is always reduplicating itself, regrowing and going through these different stages, which is like 5 years for this organ, 7 years for that organ, months for this organ, skin is 7 years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, in which we already know the numbers. But because we're in a society where people are always getting old and slow and degrading, we cannot even fathom what a healthy 100-year-old, or I'm not talking about the 100-year-olds that's running track or 100-year-olds that's doing that. I'm talking about somebody who has actually taken the path of taking care of their skin, not getting wrinkles in the face. Because anytime we see Asians or the Koreans or the Chinese or the Japanese doing their qigong and tai chi in the morning, we should have been doing that, because the face tells you how healthy that you are, with the different pimples you may have, skin discoloration, eyes turning different colors, lips appear to be the same way. Lips appear to be disoriented, different colors inside the lips. Those different things there allow you to see what your health is like. Hair falling out, going bald in the middle. Men, I believe that we go bald in the middle because we're not taking care of our prostate. So there's stress that's happening, and there's something else that's going on inside the body, which is not allowing the hair to stay on their head. So take care of your prostate and keep the inflammation down, because when there's too much inflammation on a systemic level inside the body, then there are cells that tend to try to eat everything. They're going nuts. They're going crazy. So keep the inflammation levels down on the prostate, on the bladder. Work your way up. Large intestine, small intestine, kidneys, adrenal gland. You see what I'm saying? Ureter. Then you also have the central nervous system, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. You see, you can't have any inflammation there. And then you have the pancreas and also the spleen. And then you also have your stomach. You also have your heart, your lungs, your endocrine system, the glands that I named earlier. You have your eyes. You have so many different things that don't need to be involved with inflammation on a stressful level. But there is the other type of stress that we love to put on ourselves from workouts or getting high from different events and activities, which is called eustress. EUSTRESS. That's the dopamine, I'm feeling type of good stress. See, when the body's in that form of stress, the body it's like, yes, okay, this we can work with because you have applied this to yourself. You have gone to a certain limit, you have stopped, and now that we can take this eustress that you've developed in your body and use this hormones that's been activated during the eustress, so that it can be chemical messengers between cells to help rebuild what it is that you were trying to do to your body, because the body can adapt, that you can break your body down and it can rebuild itself back up. But if you are doing things to your body as far as training and different things like that, and you're not seeing the results, then you're probably just overstressed, overworked, overtired, over lethargic, and your body is completely in overdrive of whatever it is that you're doing. You could be eating toxic, you could be eating healthy and still be in overdrive because of your workload for the day. I'm sure you guys had days where you work really hard, you eat really healthy, and still after work, you're too tired to do anything. So that's why I push massage therapy. That's why I push cupping. That's why I push gua sha. That's why I push fasting and meditation, to bring the body at an ease from the hard work that you do all the time, all day long. Okay. So now moving forward. So as a martial artist and building muscle and stretching, martial arts shows you where you're tight. So that means that those are muscles that need to be stretched and worked on and developed to bring out the other bigger muscles, because it's the smaller muscles and the muscles that you cannot see in the mirror that lies underneath, that is attachment to the origin and the insertion, which allows the action of the movement for that particular exercise to engage that particular muscle properly. Because bad posture and an imbalance in the system on a systemic level and chemical level, when you work out, you are actually throwing the body more off than bringing it on anyway, unless you have completely changed your entire lifestyle in a life and death situation, similar to those people who have told they're going to die in 6 months. They have changed their life completely and actually have lived another 10, 20, 30 years healthily after the doctor told them that they're going to die in 6 months. So if you change your life completely, the next day, 100%, lifestyle habits, eating times, the way you think, etc., all of the above, you will actually already be starting to live in a very healthy living quality life that you've actually that you've wanted and prayed for. And sometimes it takes an ass whooping from life to wake that part of your system up or your brain up. So actually, me being a black man in America, this has nothing to do with the racism. It just happens to do with how the system is being designed for certain individuals, which is perfectly fine. As you see, I'm standing here, I'm a black belt here, abs, 6'8" pack. Nothing has actually stopped me, even though certain things have probably inhibited me from doing certain things or exponentially blowing up at a certain level, right? So now I just want to say that health is the key, because anywhere that I go, right, my belt is tight, my abs is there, my posture is good. I listen to people, I have fun, I'm able to engage with different groups. And you see the actual in body language, the constant of the belt, the stomach protruding forward, the different things like that happens in different people, head protruding forward, shoulders medially rotated, hands like the Flintstones, everybody's on their phone, the hunchback on the back of their neck, different things like that. I see that and I go, interesting. Those are my clients for the future. And they better be making a lot of money, because the quality of service that I'm going to be bringing is the quality of the life experience that I have, the knowledge that I have, the credentials that I have. And then if I have to put my hands on you, on your body, it's going to be expensive. So I'm not just going to be anybody or just some regular spa or gym that you're just going to be able to walk in on and just get this information from. So if you're watching me now and I share some information up here, it is definitely from resources and documentation that I have gone over in the past to achieve the body and the physique that I have now and actually stay looking young at this age that I'm at now. So I think I'm going to stop here. The nail beds are feeling good. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good. And thank you again for following me. And any questions or concerns that you may have or would like to see or want to see, then please be open to ask, and I'll do my best to get back to you in response the proper way. So let me get off this thing here. Breathe, strengthen. And normally I will leave my left foot on, but this time I'm going to leave my right foot on, and I'm going to come off just like that and take care. Let's